Okay, hold on a minute. I don't know if you can see me, Mark. Just try and copy. All right, I'm going to send you this link. I think it's in the chat now.
Okay, so the laptop kind of came to life, yeah?
Yeah, so the link is in the chat. I'm just going to do a live stream here about what was the subject I chose. Who was Lucifer? Or who was the devil? A colleague's supposed to be coming in just to ask me some questions. So if anyone else is going to come in, I think you're going to have to turn your camera on before you enter the room. So just waiting for him to pop up so I can get this conversation. Yeah, so it's a good time. That's the link above. Yeah, if you click on that link, it's supposed to add you or something. You can hear me? Yeah. Yeah, I sent you the link. I'll send you the link again. You probably didn't see it. That's the link there. Click on that link there, and then I'll see you come in. Have a conversation. Get some things going. This is the link. Yeah, the link's there. So, want to come in and have a chat? We can discuss. I think I really wanted to discuss who the devil was in the Bible, why he's got such a bad name in the text. So, I know who my buddy is that's coming in. So, if anyone else is going to come in, you have to have your camera on, basically, so I can see who you are. And you can turn it back afterwards if you want. So, yeah, buddy. Let me send you the link again. There's a link. If anyone will come in, have a discussion. And I can hear the squeaking. I thought it should not be squeaking, but nevertheless. Okay, where's this guy? What's going on? Is that Mark there? I think I see him.
How's it going, Rich? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm on my phone at the moment. Yeah. How you doing? You alright, yeah?
What's going on with the laptop?
I'm waiting. I'm just waiting for a video to finish buffering. I'm uploading a video to my channel at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I just need it to. It's a big file, so I just need it to hurry up and upload.
Okay, see it.
Yeah. I've been busy in the lab myself.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man. So your laptop's operational again, yeah?
Yeah, you know what it is. I didn't have the power cord plugged in.
Oh. Wow.
So I was like doing I just did a live stream and then it just went boop. It just went blank.
Okay.
And then I was there thinking it's hot, but then I was looking at it and thinking, boy, it's cooled down.
Yeah.
And then I looked around and I see that it wasn't even plugged in.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I wasn't prepared for this, man. Otherwise, I would have made sure that I got everything set up, you know, and we do it professionally, you know.
Yeah. Well, if you upload it, it's nothing. I mean, people do it on their phone. It's nothing long.
Yeah. Your setup looks good, though. You look good.
Yeah, because I didn't even tell you that I sold, you know, the mic I bought.
Yeah.
I returned that.
Just saying hello.
Hi. How you doing? I could see her in the background there.
Yeah. Sorry, what you saying?
Yeah, I sent back my mic, innit? You remember that mic I got?
Oh yeah. You sent it back? Why?
Yeah, you know what it is? It wasn't holding up, bruv.
Oh, you mean in terms of sound quality?
Yeah, because it was like a condenser mic, and like even when my wife is talking in the bedroom, I can hear her.
Oh, so it's picking up all the it's picking up all the background noises.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I just went for the road. This came today, and I've got like the Shure mic.
Oh, that's okay. Is that the mic you used to use?
No, this is one of them Shure mic, because I got my camera. I've got a Rode here, like a shotgun mic. And I've got like another mic there. So all I needed was a mixer box, really, to just plug it in via. What do you call it? XLR. Yeah.
XLR. Yeah.
But this mic
sound quality sounds really good anyway.
Yeah, this mic's one of the best, they say, in the Shure mic, in it. So what they call it, the MV7 or something. Got it from eBay, bro.
Okay. Yeah, decent, man. Decent. Got it for a decent price.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad price still.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Yeah, I've been putting out 1 and 2 things still, and I was just gonna come on now and just discuss the devil in the Bible and who was the devil.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That sounds like an interesting topic.
Yeah. So when you're uploading, or I don't know, I sent out I'm just kind of testing up a few things. I'll see how you came.
Yeah. How long have we got? Let's have a look here. Okay, we've got 49%, so I think that's probably going to take about another. Normally it says the time limit. It says the time limit here. Normally it says about, I'd say probably about another 20 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour.
Yeah.
Minutes, about 20 minutes, Well, did you want to wait till we set up on the computer and then come back to it?
Nah, you're good. I mean, let me see if you can see it on my on your phone and see how the presentation is. Let's see if you can see that.
You forgot to put Beverly back?
No, but I can see that. Yeah, I mean it's a bit of a strain, but let me see. Fucking Yeah, I can see that still. I can see that. Yeah, I can see it.
You can see it, yeah?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I can see it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Where's the charger? Where's the charger, babe? Yeah, where's the phone charger? Yeah. Cheers. Right. Alright, we're good to go.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, we're good to go.
Okay,
Yes.
it was
Talk about
just
Lucifer. What can I
it
talk
was
about?
just a brief concept I was gonna take still.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
I was just gonna basically show that in mysticism,
Mm-hmm.
uh one of the mystics that used to be in mysticism, her name was Diane Fortune.
Okay.
And in her work you can see in the mystical Kabbalah.
Yeah.
So I was saying you're talking about Kabbalah today.
Yeah. That's
It
right.
says
Yeah.
in the word Elohim, we find the
Mhm.
true key. Elohim is translated God in both authorized and revised version of the Holy Scriptures. It really ought to be translated God and goddesses, for it is a feminine noun with a masculine plural termination affixed. So basically, when you look in the Hebrew text
Mhm.
and you look at the Hebrew word, the word Elohim
Yeah.
is the first word that's used in the Bible. So when it says in
Right.
the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, or bara bara shet Elohim et,
Yeah.
the word there uses Elohim.
Yeah.
And people say, oh, it's been translated from the Hebrew into the English as God, but
Yeah.
it's a plural word. And it
Yeah.
doesn't just mean God, it means God and goddesses. And she goes on to
Yeah.
even say, this is an incontrovertible fact. That means
Yeah.
there's no denying that.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the linguistic aspect, in any rate, and it
Mhm.
is to be presumed that
Mhm.
the various authors of the books of the Bible
Yeah.
knew what that meant and
Yeah.
did not use this particular unique form without good reason.
Okay.
So what she's saying is they understood when they were translating the Bible
Mm-hmm.
that this was translated wrong, but
Mm-hmm.
they miscued that for good reason. And that's what I was
Okay.
talking about earlier
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
was talking about who is the woman in Proverbs that they say created the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand?
Okay. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Because they've X'd out the feminine.
The family. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
only
They've
thing you find with
Yeah.
say that again, bro.
Yeah. No, they've completely bypassed that, man. Because that's the feminine.
That's right. So the only time you hear about Eve is when you hear about Satan
Yeah.
and so forth, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That's
when we go to Greek mythology,
Yeah.
we have the story of when we read Euripides or Euripides, and
Yeah.
she is guarding the golden apple. This is her primary source. This is 410 to 400 BC.
Okay. So it predates the Christianity.
That's
Yeah.
correct. And you
Yeah.
can see she's guarding the golden apple, and you can see the
Yeah.
serpent around the tree.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So the Christian authors at that time in Alexandria, they must have known about these Greek mythologies.
Yeah.
That's why it's called Greco-Roman, because what you were learning was these stories.
Yeah.
So when I'm reading like Adam and Eve in the garden, there's no different from the Greek mythos.
Yeah. Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah. I'm with you. I follow you. Yeah.
So what I was going to talk about with Lucifer and
Yeah.
why the devil has got a bad name, but the devil
Yeah.
shouldn't get a bad name. So we have the story of Prometheus.
Okay. Yeah.
Prometheus was also crucified
Yeah.
and chained to a rock.
Wow.
And there was 3 women at Prometheus' feet. Like when Jesus, he had the 3 mirrors at his feet.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But why was he crucified? What was his crime? Because Prometheus is the brother of Zeus.
Okay.
So Prometheus, when they created man in the Greek mythos, Prometheus, he liked human beings, but Zeus wanted to do away with them, if I can remember the story correctly.
Okay.
So what he
Yeah.
did, he stole the fire, because basically human beings were here, but we were
Yeah.
dumb. We didn't, we didn't have much sense, or
Yeah.
we were just walking around killing each
Like
other or whatever.
Homo erectus.
Yeah, so to speak. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he stole the fire from
Yeah.
Ephesus, or stole the fire from the gods,
Mm-hmm.
and he gave it to man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And man started to use the fire, but the fire actually means like intelligence. That's what they're saying.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
after that, man started to build, we became more intelligent.
Became more intelligent, yeah.
And then Zeus clocked onto it, and he's like, how comes the humans are not worshiping me no more?
Yeah.
And then he realized that, how did they get intelligent? So he crucified his brother for it.
Okay.
Because he shouldn't have brought light to man.
That's a man,
That's the mythos story.
Yeah. That resonates. Yeah, that story kind of, it resonates with a particular biblical story, isn't it?
Yeah, go on, tell me.
I'm trying to think how that correlates to I mean, I read something similar about is it the Anunnaki?
Okay, go on.
Yeah, where it was a similar thing where Enlil and Enki kind of did evolved a slave race. Humans were sort of like a slave race, and they genetically modified them to I think Enki represent the serpent, isn't it? Is that correct?
From the story that like I read the story years ago, I'm not too sure.
I think it's from the Sumerian tablets. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just digressing. I'm just pondering on something else.
No, but they are similar stories.
Yeah.
In the old Mesopotamian Babylonian stories.
Yeah.
That we find in the Old Testament. So
yeah.
This story is the story of Prometheus. In my hypothesis, is that when the devil came to Eve, he said to Eve that you should not eat this apple, or Eve said to the devil that God told her not to eat the apple, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
But then the devil, because he said, if you eat this apple, you're going to die. But when the devil came to her, the devil said, surely not. You're not going to die. And she ate the apple. Now, the question is, who lied?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Did God lie, or did the devil lie?
Did God say that if you ate the apple, they die?
Yeah.
Or did he just forbid them to eat the apple?
No, let me, you know what? Let me try and get the verse.
Yeah. I think it's just to get some. These are things I should have clarity on, but I don't. I don't know. I should.
Genesis, I think it's like, let me just go to Genesis 6. So I think from my scriptures it says, you shall surely die.
Yeah.
If she ate the apple. Yeah. But let me just go to 6. My computer's just taking so long.
Yeah, it's all right.
I would go to the Blue Peter Bible, but probably a minute. Hold on a minute. Okay, this is the Bible Gateway. The Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intent. Okay, I think I might have passed it.
I've got an app on my phone, but I can't. It's tricky for me to come out of this and access it.
That's my laptop.
That's your laptop, isn't it? Is there? Can you check? You can't get that. It's not. You got that app on your phone, have you?
Not app.
Can you pick up? Can you grab Genesis?
Yeah.
Okay, I think this is past it as well. Jesus Christ, you know, it's my Bible's over there, so I can't really.
The first one.
Oh, which one though?
Okay.
Yeah,
So can you see it there now?
I'm gonna have a look now and see if I can grab it.
Where it says, "Now the serpent was more cunning than any beast of the field which the Lord God had
That
made."
three.
You see it?
Three. Is that three? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the serpent was the most cautious of all the wild animals of the field that God had made. So it said to the woman, "Did God really say that you must not eat from every tree of the garden?" At this, the woman said to the serpent, "We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden."
Where you reading from?
I'm
Are
reading
you?
from the New Translation.
Oh, you're not reading what's on the screen, though, right?
Yeah, I'm reading. Oh, sorry, no, I'm not. I'm actually reading from my book. From
But you see, the
my
reason why
side.
I asked you that, can you see how
Yeah,
when you
different.
said, "Now the
Yeah,
serpent was more cunning," but yours
yeah.
said, what did yours say?
But so what does he say? Now the serpent was the most cautious.
Right.
So
That's two
cunning. So
different
yours says
things.
cunning. That's two different translations, isn't it? Wow.
This is
Yeah,
not the point.
and yours is the King James version, right?
Yeah, mine's is
Yeah.
mine's is the King James.
So yours is the most. I wish I could share my screen. So it says now the serpent was the most cautious. Yours is the most cunning.
Right.
But that's two different, completely different meanings. But
There you go. But anyway, carry on.
correct me if there was any any anomalies. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fine.
Now the serpent was the most cautious of all the wild animals of the field that God had made. So it said to the woman, "Did God really say that you must not eat from every tree of the garden?" At this, the woman said to the serpent, "We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but God had said about the fruit of the tree that is in the middle of the garden, you must not eat from it. No, you must not touch it, otherwise you will die." Okay, fair enough. Point. Yeah. So he did actually specifically say that. For God knows that in every day you eat from it, your eyes will be open and you will be like God, knowing good and bad. So it's a bit
Okay. Stop right there.
yeah.
So you
That's
see
a contradiction. Well, let's say that's a contradiction because he says that you will die, but then he also goes on to say, "For God knows that in every day you eat from it, your eyes will be open and you will be like God, knowing good and bad." So it's one breath he says you're gonna die, and then in the next breath you're saying you will know everything the more you eat.
No, you're taking that because the woman was talking to the devil apparently.
Yeah.
And she's saying to him that God told us that
God
if
told
we
us.
eat this, we're gonna die.
Yeah.
And then the devil retorted by saying, "Surely you will not die.
Yeah.
If you eat this, your eyes will be open and you will be
You'll
like
God,
gods."
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So who told the truth there?
We told the truth. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's true. Yeah. The woman saw that she was good for food. Yeah. What does the apple symbolize to you, though? What does the apple symbolize?
Well, I was just going to say this to you because you're saying, God, there was two trees in the garden, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. What are they?
What are the trees? The tree of knowledge?
So there was a tree that if you eat from it, you get knowledge, or is it an allegory?
There was two trees. But I'm not sure what the other tree was.
You see, from the very beginning, I'm saying to people, the creation story is garbage. Yeah. If you're taking it literally.
You're taking it literally, yeah, of course, yeah. Do you know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like the apple symbolizes sexual intercourse. Because they saw that I saw there's a bit where they knew good and bad, and they saw that they were naked. They realized that they were naked.
Yeah, that's afterwards.
After eating it. So
yeah,
it seems like the apple is a symbol of a sexual union, or and then from that they lost their innocence. Adam lost his innocence and then became you know, unclean, sinful, so to speak. I don't know. That's how I've always kind of looked at it, and I don't know. I've always kind of looked at it like that's what it means, you know.
Well, when you look on it like that, you have to kind of look at linguistics, because you have to remember that the Bible, we're just speaking English, and from what you're reading is different from what I've got here.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So
I know,
on Genesis 3:2, it says, and the woman said to the serpent, we may eat the fruits of the tree of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God has said, you shall not eat it, nor shall you touch it, lest you die. So not only can she not touch the tree, she wasn't even allowed to eat from the tree.
Yeah.
And the devil said to her, you won't die. And then she gave Adam a piece of the apple, and that's why man said we got our Adam apples. Yeah. Because she Adam, and no, they didn't die. So was the Bible saying it was an allegorical story?
I feel like it was, because, you know, we both know snakes don't talk anyway, you know.
Well,
we can't really take it. It can't be taken literally. You know, it's metaphors, isn't it?
But what's the metaphor about? That's the thing.
That's the question, isn't it? Because there's so many different interpretations. It's how you interpret the message. But me personally, I've never taken the Bible literally word for word, like as you know, as it's written. I always look for metaphors and meanings and the symbology and cryptic messages encoded in the Bible. You know what I mean? Like I say, that's my interpretation. It seems like then the eyes of both of them were open, and they realized that they were naked.
Well, remember, he said also that if you eat the apple, your eyes will be open and you become like gods. Well,
and then what does that mean then? So then they'll create, isn't it? Because God
so that
creates.
Means they became enlightened.
Yeah.
Because he said you'll start knowing good from evil.
Evil, yeah.
And even when God came and saw what happened, what did he say? He said, now the man has become one of us.
Oh, yeah.
God said that.
Yeah.
So what does he mean? Adam became a god?
But then wasn't, But is Adam a plural as well?
Adam really just it really means like humans. It doesn't mean a particular person.
That's what I'm thinking.
It doesn't.
So that can be used in the plural as well, isn't it? Really?
In a sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Because remember Genesis 5. This is got to do with the documentary hypothesis. I mean, chapter 5, God said, I created both male, female. I created them and called their name Adam. So basically, Eve and Adam were called Adam.
Yeah. So Adam was the first race of humanoid, you could say.
Well,
Adam is like Adam is just it wasn't just one, it was a race, no?
Well, according to their doctrine, but I mean, science doesn't tell us that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you want to read it literally and start saying, was Adam or was Eve, we're going to have to ask a lot of questions. Remember, the Bible says that God was walking in the cool breeze of the day, correct?
Yeah.
Then he said to Adam, where art thou? So we now have a description of God walking.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
And he's walking in the cool breeze of the day. That means, was he on earth when this was taking place? Because if God is on earth when this is taking place, you can see why when Celsus was reading this, he said, it's absolute garbage. The books that Moses wrote is absolute garbage.
Yeah.
Because you have a God that is walking in the cool breeze of the day. That means God was on earth. But then how can the Muslims them say Allah and Jehovah is the same God? But in the Muslim doctrine, Allah lives outside the time zone. In the Bible, he's walking on earth.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's a physical being.
He's a yeah. It's
And
not
this
the
is what
same.
I ask people.
Yeah.
Is the God that you worship, is he a physical being? Is he corporeal, where you can touch? Does he inhabit a human body?
Yeah.
Because if he does inhabit a human body, then he's subjected to the laws of the
To the
body.
laws of the physics.
That means you go to toilet.
Yeah.
That means you have to drink.
Yeah.
That means you have to do a number 2 and a number 1. And then you start making God absurd. So there's holy questions to ask in this book of Genesis. And the reason why it's so confusing is because of the documentary hypothesis. Those sources, these are different sources that they use to create this creation story. And people take them literally. But like I said, where I started, there's nothing different from this story and Prometheus bringing light to man. Because when he brought light to man, they became intelligent. When Lucifer brought light to man, they became intelligent.
Yeah.
And here's the point. What does Lucifer mean? It means the light bringer.
Light bringer, yeah.
So what's different from what Prometheus done
so
when
when
he
you say
brought the light?
So he brought enlightenment, would you say?
That's correct.
Yeah. He brought enlightenment, the light bearer. And he's been demonized in the Bible.
That's correct. That's correct. Just like Prometheus was crucified.
Yeah. That's fine, yeah. So who are we worshipping? Who are we worshipping in the Bible? Has everything been inverted?
What do you mean? I don't understand.
In terms of, are we worshipping the wrong deity? Are we, because it seems like more destruction and more death was caused by the God in the Bible than Lucifer.
That's correct. The God in the Bible has killed more people than Lucifer has. Any God that you come across that speaks, you're all, and it's only religious people you hear talk like that. When they say, oh, didn't God say to Israel, or didn't God say to Moses, or remember when Allah said this, or remember. So they're literally telling you that God has a vocal cord and he speaks, but they never say where he's speaking from.
Apparently he speaks through the prophets, isn't it? He spoke through Moses and spoke through well, Allah apparently spoke through Muhammad. You know what I mean? He started writing on the walls because Muhammad couldn't read and write. I don't know. I don't really, it sounds more like he spoke through people, through men, in spirit.
Okay. Well, Seltzer's had something different to say about that, because a lot of these people that were writing, they were writing in a drunken state. Like God only shows up to illiterate people. He shunned anyone that's wise. Because if I wake up tomorrow and said, God inspired me to do this, how do you know that God said that? And how do I know that God is inspiring me? The people who actually wrote the Bible, the ones who do the commentary, like I can show you here, like Moses Maimonides, they've told you not to take the Bible literally, because you make the deity absurd. Because once you have a God that is in some kind of garden, as I said to one Jewish guy, where was the garden? He said the garden was, he believed that the rabbi said the garden was in Iraq. And I'm like, in Iraq? And he's like, yeah. But then I asked him, is God corporeal? And he said, no. And I'm like, well, who was walking in the garden?
Yeah, well, I'm sure Babylon was in Iraq, wasn't it? It still is.
And this is why they try to, what they're doing is like they're taking the creation story out of Africa and bringing it to what is called the Middle East.
Yeah. Because I've even suggested that it was in Ethiopia. You know what I'm saying? And and touching back on Africa, isn't most of the Christian the fabric of Christianity goes back to Egypt, doesn't it? Because the story of Horus, Horus was born of immaculate conception, if I'm correct. Am I correct in saying that?
There's arguments around the conception,
but it's very similar to the story of Jesus, if I'm correct.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, you know, are we? Is there a possibility that we're talking about the same entity here?
Well, I don't understand.
Okay, if is the Jesus story actually the story of Horus? Was the concept of Christianity taken out of Egypt?
Yeah.
Would you
Bits
say
and pieces, not just from Egypt. I wouldn't just say, because sometimes when people say the whole concept of Christianity was taken from Egypt, it is a bold claim to make. So when you say then you have to kind of show and prove how it was taken out of Egypt. I would say that a lot of the stories come from Greek mythology or Greek mythos.
But doesn't Egyptology predate Greek mythology? So then you'd have to say that it was all birthed from Egypt. Egyptology.
I would say that, but on a academic level, if I'm going to show you like the virgin birth, which I have done here, where I showed you, what's her name, Danae, getting impregnated by Zeus. That is a Greek story. Now, I would have to show you how the Greeks took it from Egypt.
Okay. So what you're saying is Christianity is basically the different. It's the culmination of different elements were taken from different religions and peace. Would you say that it's different parts of different religion, different cultures that predate Christianity? Makes up the story of Christianity. So there's basically elements from Greek mythology and elements from Egyptology.
Because I mean, people were trading and the stories were trading. That's why. Let me just go back to this source.
Wow. So it's an engineered religion.
It's an hold on. Let me. It's somewhat of a hodgepodge. Of different cultures. But on that time, Egypt had a big influence. Let me just show you some sources because I'm just kind of talking. So in this part, this is where I showed you Danae. I don't know if you saw this one. With the king, he was disappointed by a hare, and he went to the oracle and asked the oracle, "Is he gonna have a son?"
Was I say disappointed by lack of? I can't see that lack of male hairs. Okay, that lack of male hairs. Asked the one oracle Delphi if this oracle announced to him that he would never have a son. Okay.
So what did the oracle went on to tell him that his grandson would come up to kill him.
Okay.
So so hearing that, he locked up Danae into like a tower. He locked her up in there because he's saying if she's locked up in this tower because she was a virgin at the time and no one gets to her, then he would stop that prophecy.
Okay.
But then Zeus saw her and he sent down golden rain, and the golden rain slipped on her thigh, and later she became pregnant.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So in reality, you would say the golden rain
represents
the spirit that overshook Mary. Because this is not my hypothesis. This is what Celsus was already telling them. This is where you stole the stories from. So you see, but this story about Danae, even though it's the king of Chryseis, and I think the king of Chryseis is an Ethiopian story.
Okay.
And she became pregnant, and who was the son that she bared? She bared Perseus. The hero. And you have to remember, you know, the reason I say to people a lot of the times, why
Yeah.
do you think 12 ends up in the Bible so much, like the 12 tribe of Israel, the 12 tribe of Ishmael? You also had the 12 Olympians, and you had the 12 Titans.
And we have the 12 zodiacs.
And you have the 12 zodiac signs. Yeah. So in this aspect, Danae became pregnant by Zeus by a golden rain. So the golden rain represents Zeus' sperms.
Yeah.
But when you say golden rain, also in the Greek language, it's Christos. That's where you get the word Christ from.
Okay. Yeah.
You understand? And they say, well, Christ was anointed, but Christ was never anointed.
Yeah.
He never was king. You understand? So
yeah.
I don't know if you've got any questions to that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah, so hold on. Let me just show you something else. So yeah, just like how you see Prometheus tied to the rock for his punishment for bringing light to men, and then you read again in Genesis where it says Lucifer, the light bringer, brought light to man. And when they ate the apple, God himself said, now that you have done this, you have become one of us, knowing good and evil. So that means they became enlightened.
Yeah.
So people now start saying, well, the devil, he disobeyed God. We don't even know who the devil is.
Yeah.
He's just a part in the movie. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But right through there, I mean, I've done this class a few years ago, but right through, you can see stories that are analogous to the stories that was already written.
Yeah. I mean, even in Hindu culture, they've got a similar story, you know, with Krishna.
That's correct. That's correct.
Krishna is more or less the same story as
Hold on.
Christ. So even as far as Asia, the story kind of stretched. It's interesting though, because how the same reoccurring theme is carried across, you know what I mean, across the, from south, from east to west.
Yes, big man. Peace. Welcome.
Greetings.
Yeah, greetings, Magnus. Greetings. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Yeah, just talking about old doctrines and stuff
Well,
like that.
I'm sure it's definitely not in the UK, is he?
Nah, sounds like he's in the States there.
Yeah.
Can you hear us, Magnetos?
Very much. The word.
You're kind of in and out, have a bit of echo.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Video.
You can hear you. You're kind of very faint still.
Put the thumbnail because the video's got a thumbnail. I don't think. Has it got a thumbnail? Oh, it has. Oh, it's done already.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, welcome, bro. I think your mic's a bit playing up.
Yeah.
But in any case, Mark, this is what I was talking to you about with Celsus.
Okay. Yeah.
Where he says the statement about the days of creation, grounds of accusation, as if we understood them clearly and correctly, some of which elapsed before the creation of light and heaven. That's why when I saw you when you read the books of Genesis, you'll see that the earth was created before the sun. That's what he was making reference to.
Okay.
And he said, and some of them after the creation of these, we shall only make the observation that Moses must have forgotten that he had said a little before that in 6 days the creation of the world had been finished, and that in consequence of this act of forgetfulness, he sojourned to these words the following. This is the book of creation of man in the day when God made the heaven and the earth. So Celsus was already telling us that a lot of the stories that these people are writing, what he was reading in I think the 2nd century AD, he was just basically telling you that they're garbage, and they're using the Greek mythos to make these stories of the Bible.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
But already
Yeah.
before this creation story, the
Yeah.
Egyptians had their own creation story.
Yeah. 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 That's right. Yeah. That's right. So have you looked into the Egyptian creation story? Can you shed some light on that?
Yeah, there's
And let's see if there's any correlation between them. Between
yeah,
we can
the
make some
Egyptian
comparison. Sorry. Yeah.
what between the Egyptians and the Bible?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe seeing as we're here, we can probably see if we can draw any comparisons between them.
Well, there's a few creation story in Egypt.
Yeah.
So Egypt didn't just have one creation story, but in this here, you can see what Shu was normally represented as the ear, Tefnut and Geb.
Okay.
You can so sometimes when people see these images, I mean, it goes on a lot online from like some of the Hebrews.
Yeah.
They will see Geb and his penis, and they say, oh, like he's committing fellatio on himself and so forth. But the doctrine is just literally showing you that the earth itself is self-sustaining.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Everything that we do, we have, everything that we is in front of us came from this planet, didn't come from nowhere else.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what it means about the earth being so. But people look on it today and they have homosexual views.
Oh right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, oh my God, why did they use this image? Because the people back then weren't thinking like how we were thinking today.
Yeah. They'd have dirty minds like that. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So, but we just conjure up these stories and we go, oh, why did he represent that when they were trying to show you in art? This is how our creation story went. But as far as Moses' creation story, that is a lot of.
All right. Hence why the penis is coming up from the earth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, what they're saying is, Okay. Yeah.
Like the earth is self-sustaining, impregnates itself,
and reproduces within itself.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah. Wow, that's a very profound insight. That's some profound insight you're giving me there, man. Because I wouldn't have looked at it. I haven't heard that. I haven't seen of it. I haven't heard anyone shed light. Give me that perspective before. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So they had a few stories. I mean.
Yeah.
I didn't really come to go into
but
that.
Not really. Nothing. Really. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They had a few stories. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is like one of my old lectures I done years ago. And this is kind of like a modern one I've put together. So, yeah,
so it's fair to say that it's fair to say that we don't really have a definitive creation story at all throughout human history. There's no definitive creation story, is there?
Unless you're talking about science and the Big Bang.
Yeah, and the Big Bang and evolution, which doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, some evolutionists will probably disagree with you, but still.
Yeah.
As the creation story as we see it written in the Bible doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of problems there.
Yeah.
As I mentioned before, the documentary Hypothesis is another one. Where scholars have found different sources and different texts as mingle in to create this story of creation.
Yeah.
So if people want to believe that God created the earth in 6 days and rest on the 7th day, then that's up to them. But that's not really factual. So
can I ask you a question, Brother Richard?
Yeah.
What? See, I don't really say I want to subscribe to Christianity in terms of, I'm not saying that I'm a Christian or I'm not belong to any particular belief system. However, I feel the Bible some of the teachings in the Bible are relevant to the times we're living in, and I think there are certain lessons that we can learn in terms of like not to eat pork, for example, fasting, You know, there's certain things in there that are beneficial, and maybe it can be used as maybe a historical reference point in some cases. Do you disagree or agree?
Yeah, I agree to some extent.
Oh, your sound's gone a bit. There you
My
go.
sound?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's gone a bit fuzzy.
My sound?
Sorry. Yeah, your sound.
You're talking my sound? I think I might be getting some feedback from Magnetus. Hold on, let me just mute Magnetus there.
Yeah, it's a bit
I muted him. How does it sound now? What's that? Yeah, what's that?
It's severely distorted. Severely distorted. Hello?
Yeah, I don't know what that crackling is.
Can you hear?
Oh, hold on. Yeah, I don't know what that crackling was. Can you hear that? Yeah, I can hear you, but there's a crackling noise. I don't know where that.
There's a bad lag. It's when lagging and it's bad. That's quite.
I don't even know if it's coming from you. I think that might be coming from.
Oh, that's awful. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm not too sure where that sound was coming from. It's gone now, so I know it's not Magnetus because I put him on mute. Let me unmute you, Mark. Oh, who's gone? Oh, Mark's gone. You come back in. Let me send you the link. Yeah, Magnetus. Let me have I unmuted? Let's see if it's your mic is working now. Hello?
Can you hear me, or
Yeah, I can hear you, but you're very faint.
can you hear me?
Yeah, just about though. You have to turn up your mic a bit.
Oh, okay. Well, if I put my microphone too close to my head, so that's why I have to. That's why I had to play around and figure out what.
Yeah, it seems like you're working there still.
Like you've been doing your live streams lately.
Yeah, trying to fit it in and stuff. Come back with some more information.
And then my audio is different than what I'm hearing. So
Yeah, I'm hearing you, but it's kind of like hard to hear you. Looks nice and sunny where you are.
everybody says at this point they cannot hear me.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not just me then.
It is nice and sunny where
Yeah, it looks nice and sunny. Where did you say you are again? Did you say Chicago? Oh, I'm not too sure.
No, Seattle, closer to Seattle.
Okay, Seattle. It looks nice and sunny there.
Yeah, it is today. You know, because the planetary alignment was last night, so it was super cloudy last night. You couldn't see a thing in the sky. But
Yeah.
where Orion comes to the sky at night, right through here.
Okay. You could see it when it comes up, yeah? I don't know if you're speaking or not, but I'm not hearing you.
Yeah, I can see. That's one of my ways of telling time at night. You gotta remember, I'm like 6 seconds behind when I hear you say something.
Yeah, I'm really having a hard time hearing you, bro. You're kind of going in and out, your audio.
Can you? Can you hear me
Well,
now?
you've been listening to me for a while still, so it's good that you're still around, bro.
I can. Yeah, I've been listening. I don't know. This year.
Maybe your internet's a bit bad where you are, or or is it your mic?
I keep forgetting everybody can see what I'm seeing. It's probably my microphone.
Yeah, it sounds like it's your mic. And my friend, I think he got knocked off anyway, so
Knowing me, because I'm a handyman, I probably got like a piece of dust or something in a little microphone hole.
yeah. I mean, it's good to get like a good microphone. At least I can hear you a bit better. I can hear you, but you're very faint. Yeah, so
The other headphones, because I've got a microphone closer to my mouth. Let's see here. Does that sound any better?
yeah, that's much better.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I've changed headphones.
Yeah, that's
Changed
much better.
headphones. Okay.
Yeah, that's much better, bro. I can hear you now.
So you remember that day I was talking about numbers?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you going into something. I don't know if you're
This
talking
is
about.
like my big.
Oh,
This is just one page. I mean, there's like hundreds. There's over 1,000 pages of numbers.
what book is that?
That's the book I wrote.
Ah, that's okay. Your mic, I think your mic's probably still going in and out. If anyone
Remember when I
wants to
said A
join
is
us,
not equal to B, B is not equal to C, and C is not equal to A?
can you hear me still? I think you're going in and out.
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Yeah, I
It's
think
just
your
a
mic's
delay
going
from
in and
when
out.
I say something. And this is one that has a bad connection. Go figure.
Yeah, I don't really have much
But you should be able to hear
DVDs.
me clear here.
Yeah, I can hear you still, but I think sometimes when you're moving, it just goes in and out. What's his name? His name's gone. Yeah, I don't really have
Right.
I don't really have too much DVD. Sorry, I'm just talking to somebody in the chat. I don't really have too much DVDs like I used to have before, because DVDs, they're just kind of like gone out. Well, not so much. My computer can't even handle them. So from they started to do like Macs without no DVD drives, it literally became kind of like impossible to like do lectures and put them on DVDs anymore and distribute them. It just became impossible. That's for one reason why I didn't really do too much classes, because technology moved on and I just kind of had too much to do, my studies, and then it just became a whole lot. But lately I have a lot of time, and I can see the technology's moved on. People live stream, so now you've got access to me. So most of the things that you wanted to ask, you can ask. I'm going to be doing more live streaming once I start getting used to it and so forth, and people can come in and ask questions and we can have a dialogue. So yeah, technology, bro. No more DVDs and stuff like that. So everything just became a bit chaotic. So I'll just do some of the lectures like what I was doing today, going over some of the
So
stories.
this was the
Yeah, go on. Go on, Magnetus, I'm listening.
so this was when I talked about the 666 and Revelations, and everybody kept always telling me 666 has to do with the devil. And then one day I was calculating this and realized 1, 2, 3 equals 6, 4, 5, 6 equals 15, 1 plus 5 equals 6, and 7, 8, 9 equals 24, and 2 plus 4 equals 6.
So you realize that 6 is literally a sacred number.
So how does that have to do?
You are still going
Well,
in
I
and
was
out.
told it was an imperfect number. That's what I
Okay.
was told. 6 is an imperfect number, and 6.
Magnetus, you're going in and out. Your mic's going in and
6
out.
is the only one that shows up in 3 columns on here. All the rest are in pairs.
Okay. So who told you that 6 was an imperfect number? According to Philo, 6 was a number
And
that the scholars used. I'm not sure. Your
it
mic
was a JW that told me the 6 was imperfect.
Okay.
Remember delay.
Yeah, I think you might have a delay, because sometimes I'm hearing you and sometimes it's like you're not talking. I'm not sure. But anyway, you can explain it. I'll take a break for a bit.
Yeah, I'm like talking to you what you said 6 seconds ago.
Yeah. Basically, it's like a delay or some.
So in my Bible, which hopefully I got this marked in the right section. Nope. Somebody changed my page in here. 1 Kings chapter 10 and 2 Chronicles chapter 9 are almost word for word the same chapter.
Yeah, go on. Are you reading it out? I'm listening.
And 1 Kings chapter 9 and 2 Chronicles. Well, I'm looking and I don't have my glasses on, so it doesn't help. Whoops, I said that wrong. Is 1 Kings chapter 10, 2 Chronicles chapter 9. So, And then it's 13, 14 on the verses. So, no, it's 14, 14, 13. The weight of gold that Solomon received yearly was 666 talents.
Yeah. So 666 isn't really the number of the devil, because
And then in Second Chronicles, it's verse 13, the weight of gold. Unless Solomon's the devil.
well, as far as I know, 666 has got nothing to do with the devil. I don't even think in the
And
Greek.
that's what I always wondered about. Because
Say
people
that
always
again. I think I'm getting a delay from you, Magnetus.
I said I always wondered about the 666 because people always claimed it was something to do with the devil, and yet had nothing to do with the devil.
That's right. That's what I was just showing you earlier. Like, the devil is, he's mysterious. He only shows up in Genesis, and then I think he turns up in Job. So to give the number 666 to the devil, I don't even think, as I said, it's when you translate the numbers from Greek, it's 666. I think it's something like 661. So 6 is a number that the Bible writers were using. That's why God created the world in 6 days and he rested on the 7th. You can find reference to that also in Philo's work when he discussed the number 6.
So I always just want. Damn it. Oops, sorry. Oh, ouch.
I think I had it on this slide when I was discussing the number 6. I'm not too sure if it's this one, Clement of Alexandria. I'm not too sure if it's in these slides where I was discussing the number 6, but let's see. Yeah, I mean, I'd have to look that up again.
So like I said, my array originally started out as a computer program because a college professor said that a computer could not calculate numbers.
Medicine Man, I just see you just in the chat there. Join the link, man, and come in.
And I have.
That's the Medicine Man right there.
So I went from just doing. So I went from doing the 3 digits to doing 9 digits.
Explain. Yes, Medicine Man.
Well, instead of just doing A, B, and C and doing comparison of A, B, and C, I went all the way to the variable of I.
Okay, you're still inside that. 1 second there, Magnetus. What's going on, Medicine Man?
Man, I go good, man.
Okay,
Well, let me come in there quickly because I was at the gym and I see your thing, so I was like, let me come in quick.
Yeah, it's good that you come in still because I'm trying to do some live stream and get back to our conversations. You know what I mean?
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, so I've done 1 and 2 things still, but I'm all set now to do some live stream. So
All right.
I want to do it more on I don't know, when is a good time? Fridays.
Fridays is good. Any other days is good, to be fair, in the evening, except for Monday and Wednesday.
Monday and Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it depends on depends though, but Friday is always a good day.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Okay, so when I'm on, I'll just send you a link and let you know I'm on still.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'll jump in.
And we can just discuss certain topics and things.
Yeah.
Yeah, respect. You're good though.
Yeah, bro. I'm all here.
Yeah, respect. That's what it is.
Yeah, man.
So I'm just here kicking it, man. I was just talking about the devil with one of my brethren who wanted to know more about the devil still. So I was just explaining it to him. But I think he got like chipped out or something like that. So
Oh, I just see. Okay, the title. Who is Lucifer the devil? Okay. That's a big one still.
Yeah. There's nothing that you don't know, man. You know what I mean?
It's good. Nah, this topic is good because I was literally just thinking about that earlier when I was in the gym. Because in my mind, I was still getting to like the purpose of everything, like the purpose of us being here. I started going deep. Like I started thinking about, imagine we're here. They say that there's over how many different sperm cells that was racing towards the womb, and we're the ones that made it through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think about that sometimes too, because it's almost like it's a lottery draw, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
you want to start thinking about how did I beat everybody else to get there?
This is what I'm saying. I started thinking like it was to the point where I was thinking, are all the sperm cells blank, and whoever makes it through is just who you are? But then I started thinking about my boys, my kids, because they're not all the same.
Said.
You get what I'm saying? But then I started thinking, is it that they don't all think the same because they're born in different time periods? So they experience different things, which makes them different.
You know, there's some other subjects I wanted to get into, but I know from our ancient ancestors, they used to say certain subjects you just don't discuss because people will laugh at you and so forth. You understand? But in the Egyptian, in some of the Egyptian knowledge, they have these things they call the deacons. And the deacons is like, that's why people are always saying, you must take a snapshot of when you was born and how the stars were aligned in the heavens when you were born.
Okay.
So even if it's 1 degree off, 2 degree off, it don't matter if they're twins. They can be identical twins, but their natures will be different. Do you understand? This goes into I want to discuss even later on when we start doing it, like the teachings, like me and Kalam used to show the books, like the books of Hermes.
Yeah, Hermes.
But we never really taught Thoth mystical teachings properly online. Do you understand? So all of these things that we think about, we're not getting these answers from the Bible.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
That's true.
So we can discuss them, but you know, when we're discussing those topics, they're like 3-4 hours.
Yeah. Because another one I was thinking is, do animals get judged when they die?
I don't think so.
Okay, so if I'm walking in the wilderness and I stumble across a lion and the lion kills me, that lion doesn't get judged?
No.
Okay.
Not from what I know.
But
it's my opinion. Let me say that.
Yeah. I was thinking that because I was thinking if they don't, like, why don't they? Because they're still creatures. They have actions. They do certain things.
but
They may not,
they're not rational.
but to them, they may feel that they're rational to themselves.
Yeah, but we know that they're not thinkers like we are.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, another lion, like I said, I use a lion as certain things. When you watch nature programs and another lion wants to take over another lion's patch, even if that lion's got 2-3 cubs running around, when he comes in, he's going to chase the male and he's going to kill the cubs. And straight away, when he does that, the female gets on heat again.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, I think...
yeah, go on.
No, go on.
No, I'm saying we as people who are supposed to be rational, we just wouldn't do that because we understand the difference between good and evil. They don't. They just live according to their nature.
Okay.
So it's like you're saying, I'm going on a skiing trip or a cruise, and then you're on top of the deck and your girlfriend pushes you over, and then a shark goes, "What's that?" That's to the shark. That's food. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He doesn't have the rational mind to say, "Oh, let me not," because it's against the law. They live according to their law, and we live according to ours.
Okay. And their law, is that God's law? Because are they created in the image and likeness of God as well?
No.
But supposedly they all come from God. This is what the Christians say.
Yeah, the Christians can say that, but then there's no proof of it. Because, like I said, that's just the Bible stories. When you're saying, according to other texts that we read, God had nothing to do with that.
Okay. So then, leading on to Satan, then is then, why was he then judged in the Garden of Eden? Because supposedly that was the animal. Supposedly the serpent. Yeah,
well, he wasn't. They used the serpent as an analogy to a snake, meaning the snake is always slippery and slivery, and that's how, according to their doctrine, that's how the devil was. He's a whisperer. He was whispering in Eve's ears, almost like whispering evil thoughts.
Okay, but when you read the text, because it says that the serpent was cursed of all cattle. So cattle, we know that to be some form of animal, right?
That's correct.
And it says he was one of the beasts of the field.
That's correct.
And the beasts of the field were animals. And then God said that you're cursed above all livestock, all cattle, and of all the beasts of the fields. I said his curse was going to be to supposedly crawl in his belly.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, did God curse him as an animal? Because from what I'm reading there, it looks like he cursed him as an animal.
I mean, like I said, I think I just read it earlier when I was reading Seltzer's book. It's hard to really even give you an answer in that. If I'm answering, it's just my opinion. Because I don't really believe in the story. I think it's
that's why I get confused.
So to even kind of like answer it, I'm just like, it's to me, it's absurd.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You understand it? This is Maimonides, which I've spoke to you about, and people know who Maimonides is. If they've studied the Bible, they must know who this is. Yeah, and he says, blah blah blah. He said, which is in. Let me see. I'll start from the top. It said again, one is inclined to ask: is the religion of the prophets, or a philosophical sanctified religion concocted by a medieval thinker under the sway of Aristotle? So he's saying these things that we're reading, is this really given to some prophet, or this is Aristotle's work? Because he used to read a lot of Aristotle and Plato's work. He goes on to say that as a sacred document, the Bible is a source of truth. While the truth contained in the Bible may not always be apparent, we know in principle that they are there. If one wishes to dig deeply enough, it follows that if one interprets ascribed to the Bible a doctrine that is these demonstrably false, such as the claim that God is corporeal. The interpretation is correct, no matter how simple or straightforward it may seem. Should human knowledge advance and come up with demonstration it previously lacked, we would have no choice but to return to the Bible and alter our interpretations to make an account of them. Anything else would seem intellectually dishonest. So this is one of the preeminent scholars on the Torah, and he's saying that the God is corporeal, meaning, did God actually walk in the garden? You remember when I was talking to that Jewish guy on Kalam's show, and I'm saying,
I remember that.
And he's going, the garden was in Iraq, and then he was saying,
Iraq,
then I asked him, is God corporeal? And he went, according to our what they call them, their rabbis, they said that God is not corporeal.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So if God is not corporeal, then who is walking in the Garden of Eden? Who's walking there? Who's talking? Because he goes on to say that God doesn't have no human emotions, nor does he speak.
Yeah.
So when I'm kind of, people are asking me, oh, so was the devil this or was the devil? And I'm like, I mean, I can give you my opinion, but as far as I'm concerned, there is no devil.
Yeah.
That's a Christian concept of someone who's fighting against God, or I mean, in every story there's a boogeyman.
Yeah.
So when you're saying, and God, me and you went through this when we was talking about. You remember when we was talking to what's his name again? He's retired
James.
now, I think. No,
Which one?
and he used to read the Torah, man, from Nigeria. What's his name again?
Oh, brother, Ty.
You remember we was talking to you about? We was talking to Ty about this, and we were saying,
"Yep,
didn't the devil show up in Job?" Because you were saying if there was a flood, he just turned up and God spoke to him and said, "Where are you coming from?" And he's like, "Oh,
where you been?
To and fro."
Yeah, in and on the land.
But at the same time, when we read Genesis, it says, "You shall be a snake, on thy belly thou shall go for the rest of thy life."
Yeah,
that's what it says, right?
Yep.
So I just don't understand.
How's he on his belly? The next minute he's walking to and fro the land.
You understand? And then walking into the council where God is.
And this is why I'm saying, and this is why I was bringing up that part where I was thinking, I don't think that they claim that's the devil. That's not the devil there. That was literally an animal, because when you read it, it says he was cursed above all cattle. It was a form of a beast in that time. It weren't Satan. Because then, like you just said, that's then contradictory when we go to Job, which is only a couple more chapters, couple more books ahead, to be fair. Because Job is what? Yeah, Job is a couple more books after Genesis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After the Torah, yeah.
After the Torah, yeah. So it doesn't make sense how he's now appearing there, and then also where he then appears in the New Testament tempting Jesus.
That's correct.
But shouldn't he been on his belly crawling? What's going on?
This is what I'm saying.
Right.
That's why Seltzer said in his work, when he read it, he said the story of Moses that Moses concocted, he said it's absolute garbage. He just said it's absolute garbage, because if anyone, God fails to control his first creation.
100.
They disobeyed him.
Yeah.
So that Mediterranean story, because a lot of those stories are coming from Babylon. A lot of them are hodgepodge stories from different nations. And that's why when you read the books of Genesis, like Kwakwa was saying earlier, there's so much confusion to it, because even when the ancients were reading it, they're like, what is this? But today we excuse all of those things. We make excuses for them.
Yep.
But like here, where Celsus is saying many times he would make an objection to their opponent, and they will wake up in a drunken state the next day, pen in hand and rubber, and they'll just rub out what they wrote and they'll just write something else. And then you're saying God inspired these people. He didn't.
Man.
You understand? So if you was back in the 1st century and you were saying, so are you saying that the snake is talking? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, hold on, that sounds a bit silly. So they go back and they rewrite it. And then the next day you're reading it again. And you're thinking, where's the talking snake that was here yesterday? Oh, yeah, you were right. We just changed it. That's how it was, bro.
Yeah.
So what's God got to do with all of that?
Yeah. That's actually a big point that you brought up there, about the serpent, but we've mentioned him, the serpent being cursed to be on his belly, because then now that was a big curse by God at the beginning.
That's correct.
So how is it now that he isn't no longer on his belly?
This is it.
Did he, you know what I mean? Like, who was that then?
Well, this
Because
is
now
it.
you're walking and talking with Satan. You said, come, let me walk and talk with you.
He walked into the house of the council, no problem.
Yeah.
And God is saying, where are you coming from? And he's like,
Yeah, where you
walking to
been?
and fro on the earth.
Yeah. You didn't say crawling on his belly, and what did he say? Dust he shall eat or something. Didn't he say he should be eating
Yeah,
dust?
he cursed him bad.
Yeah. So what happened to all of that? Then he gave him a task, to go and disrupt Job.
On top of it.
On top of that, yeah, go and deal with that.
You understand what I'm saying? So really and
Yeah.
truly, the devil is a mythical story, because when you go back into ancient times and you're reading like even the Greek texts, and you don't really see no devil or no thing. You don't see anything like that.
Nah.
But every movie that you go and watch in the theater, you'll find out that there's a star for the movie, and then there's a nemesis.
Yeah.
So the Bible, to me, the Bible's not going to be no difference.
Yeah. It's following the same type of pattern.
It's the same thing. So if people want to take those stories literally, as me and Maimonides was saying, that's why he wrote the guide for the perplex. That's why the Jewish guy just ran off, because I'm saying you can't take the stories literally. They're not literal. You can't explain to me the 2 trees that were in the garden.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And where is that garden now?
And where is the garden? He was like, well, scholars say it was in Iraq. But then how could it be? Science has already told you that the first people that were created were in Africa.
Yeah.
That's science.
Yeah. I'm still trying to see where this flaming sword that's guarding the garden. Remember, there's a sword of fire hovering, guarding the way to the garden.
That's correct.
And the cherubim are there, sorry.
That's correct. And they keep saying that we're talking mythology, but when you start to explain some of the nonsense that you're reading, how do you explain that? How do you explain that? No one would get away. They barely got away with that kind of rubbish in the 1st century.
Sorry, and another one, yeah. And then okay. And another one is this then that you asked. So then, what happened to the garden during the flood? And this flaming sword, did the flaming sword disappear because of the water? Did the flame come out? The tree?
Well,
because remember, this garden was planted east in Eden, on the earth.
That's right.
And the whole earth is supposedly flooded.
That's right.
So what happened to the trees?
Well, people will tell you that if I'm talking from a Christian perspective or a religious perspective, I will say that God flooded everything, and then he started over with Noah and his sons.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my answer.
So then the garden got destroyed then. So there's no point no one out here trying to still say that they're looking for the Garden of Eden.
No.
Where is it? That's gone then.
That's right. Just like how they're looking for Noah's boat.
Yeah, that's gone then.
And I heard somebody say, "Oh, we finally found Noah's boat." I don't even look at those articles.
Yeah, I don't look at. I see all the time on Mount Ararat. They found it. Go for wood. I've seen all that. I've seen it.
Yeah, that's it. Because I'm thinking you can't be reading, because if you read Celsus' work, when Celsus read about the flood story, he just said, "Well, haven't you heard about the Deucalion?"
Yeah.
Read the Deucalion story. You can just Google the Deucalion quickly, and you'll see it's the same thing. There was a time when Zeus came down and flooded the town because the people weren't hospitable.
Yep.
So people will tell you that there's many flood stories up in the fishdom and the like. So why should the Bible one be unique? It's not.
Mm,
You understand? So
yeah. Who's the other brother? Is that your friend?
yeah, Magnetos, he's been following me from back in the days, but he's been having problems with his mic, I think.
Oh,
So
okay.
he's probably just chilling. My other brethren wasn't here earlier, but I think he got knocked off or something like that. So
Okay.
I'm just trying to start up back our chats, and once people get to know that we're here, then we can at least start having our chats once a week. Don't necessarily have to be on religion and stuff, because there's a lot of things happening out there right now, to be honest.
There's a lot of things going on. Yeah, man, definitely. There's a lot of things going on.
Yeah, because we can even discuss that thing that they're talking about in where people phones are going to be reset or something like that.
There you go. You see that 23rd of April. Yeah. No, the alarm's going to ring on everyone's phones.
Yep.
23rd of April next month.
And it's the numbers that they choose when they choose, like the 23rd, because the 23rd, like we're in 2000, we're in 2023.
Yep,
yeah,
2023.
And you know that most of the famous footballers, Michael Jordan, Beckham, and a few others, they wear the number 23.
23. Yep.
That has great symbolic meaning. So when I hear them saying the 23rd of April, I'm just like, okay.
23 and what, 32 as well, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, because a lot of the stars like the 32. Shaquille O'Neal 32.
That's correct. And remember, 23 is 32, really.
It is 32.
Yeah, that's that.
It is, yeah.
Well, I don't think half of them actually understand it. They just like it as a number. You understand?
Wow.
So
yeah, why did they pick of all dates the 23rd and the 23rd?
I tell people that even my Magnetus there, he studies the numbers, but it's the way sometimes when you have some people online, when they do the numbers, they always like a shooting that happened the other day, they'll come up and they'll go, oh yeah, so this lineup, I mean, if you're going to do alphanumeric, at least calculate the numbers so you can tell future events, otherwise it just becomes pseudo.
Yeah. Wow.
So
wow.
That's it.
All right. Brother, I'm just going to go and sort out something quickly, yeah? I'm going to be back, yeah?
Okay, I'm not too sure if I'm going to be on much longer, though.
Oh, okay.
Because I only came on to kind of like do that little thing there and just kind of jump
on.
Okay.
Well, at least we know now we're here. I'll start informing everyone that, listen, Fridays we're there.
Yeah.
Start bringing the traffic in, you feel me?
Yeah, and start, like, I can probably text you, like, before Friday and say, yo, what topic should we discuss?
Yeah.
So if you say, yeah, let's discuss this 23rd thing that's happening, then we'll just
there's a few, because I want to discuss the 23rd thing. I want to discuss the supposed UFOs that got shot and disappeared. They can't find the wreckage. I want to discuss this supposed water that they found in the earth that's more than the water that's on top of the earth.
Okay.
Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
You didn't hear about that?
No,
Yeah,
but I'm pretty sure flat earthers would have been like jumping on that.
Yeah, that come out today. That was today's news.
Well, so what they're saying, they found water where?
They said they found some water in the center of not even the center, in the earth, in some giant stone, and this stone supposedly acts like a sponge, but the water that's in there is more than the water that's covering the earth that we have now.
What?
I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send it to you, trust me.
Yeah, that sounds like some deep stuff, bro.
Some deep, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot to chat about.
Yeah. But it's a time when a lot of things are gonna be revealed. But like I said, I noticed in particular in England, because I know Kalam used to do it still. We used to go on Kalam and just have our little chats, but there's not many people, like, since Kalam drop off, you don't find many people doing it. So we have to start back up, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, it's true.
have our own platform, basically. So that's it.
Yeah, man. I'm on it, man. I'm here, man.
All right, good, man. I'm
Yeah,
glad
man.
you showed up still, but we'll catch up, no doubt, man. I'm gonna end the stream now
Sure.
still.
All right, then, brother.
All right, bro. Have
All
a
right,
good
after
day.
this, yeah.
All right,
Peace out.
peace.
Peace.
Peace, Magnetos.
Good.